you get a wooden for Christmas when he already owns a comb?
Once upon a time, when Santa was a very young man, he got his very first job as the chimney sweeper. See, Santa was a very young guy and a dapper dresser, of course, and he was so good at climbing up the chimneys. He'd just go climb right up there. Nobody even need a ladder, and he'd go right down the chimney like that, kerchunk. And then, of course, the places in these days had a lot of fireplaces, and they needed to be swept. So he would be sweeping the chimneys, and he'd be sweeping the chimneys all throughout the house. Such a good sweeper, sweep, sweep. Sometimes he did two chimneys at once. Nobody really knows how he did that at all, but he would do the chimney sweep and the chimney sweep, and he did it so very fast. And then when he came up out of the chimney, you could see, oh, you left your brush hanging. Get that onto the. There we go. And he was so clean at the end of it. People didn't believe that he really was sweeping the chimneys too fast, too clean. Most people were very dirty when they swept the chimneys, and the people didn't believe him. So Santa got fired. Stay tuned. Don't worry, it has a happy ending. Stay tuned for Santa Got Fired even, part 2.
Let's give him love and understanding.
But it helps if I have a light on. That's okay, good. Now, Santa got fired from being the chimney sweeper. Yes, you remember from part 1. And so Santa got himself a good government job with paid vacation and benefits and everything. It's like unimaginable these days, but there you go. He got a job working for the post office. That's the way he's supposed to come on. And Santa had a post office Jeep and everything, and he liked to drive that Jeep. Sometimes he'd drive a little too fast. Like, Santa was like kind of what they call a lead foot kiss. He'd drive it. Sometimes he'd drive it in the most peculiar manner. Be like, but sometimes Santa got caught in what is called traffic. Do you know what it is called traffic? It's like when people don't go very fast, like blah 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 beep beep blah 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 beep beep blah 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 beep beep. Well, Santa thought it was so very ridiculous to waste all his time delivering packages when it was traffic. So he decided to wait until there was no traffic, and so that meant Santa delivered the packages at like 3 in the morning. And he'd just go and deliver the packages. But of course, nobody wants to get their packages delivered at 3 in the morning. So Santa got fired.
For you, just one more guess. Yes, yes. Merry Christmas.
What do you mean, Artu? That noise is singing, you silly bucket.
Now, if you remember, Santa got fired from being a chimney sweeper. And he got fired from delivering the packages for the Postal Service. So, Santa, after delivering the packages at 3 a.m., he decided he realized something. He was a night owl. So Santa got a job at the all-night diner. He was the cook and the dessert chef. I'm trying to say, my mouth is not working. And so after he bring them their meals. He said, "Did you enjoy your meal? Would you like one of my famous desserts?" And they would say, "Oh yes, please bring us the dessert." The Santa would go running into the kitchen. And he'd bring him his favorite dessert, or one of his famous ones, the Star Spangled Cupcake. And the thing about Santa was he was very, very much into quality control, and he always had to take a little bite, just to test it and make sure it was okay. So he'd take a little bite out of it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's a good one." And then he'd bring it to the people, and they say, "No, no, no, we don't want a cupcake with one bite taken out of it. This is not a good time for that." And so Santa went, he goes, don't worry, I'll bring you my other famous dessert. It's called the Giant Pink Sprinkled Donut, which is funny because it was pink frosted, not pink sprinkled, but beggars can't be. And he just, he couldn't help it. He had to just take a little bite, test it out, see if it was good. Or he said, "Oh yeah, this is one of my best ones." They say, "Oh, take that away. We don't want a donut with one bite out of it. What is this?" And so Santa goes, don't worry. I have my most favorite, best dessert ever that's not in its proper form right now, but just give it a moment and I'll bring it onto the screen because here it comes. It was his favorite dessert. He liked to make this a lot. It was the gingerbread man cookie. And hey, turn on the microphone, turn on your speakers, please. And That's better. He had to. Santa could never, even that young, he couldn't resist it. Oh, he looks like a witch. Look at that. He took a little bite out of the gingerbread man cookie, and the people said, "No, we don't want that." And the people complained, and Santa got fired. Oh boy.
Get solo! I cannot believe the question. It's like, what is indigestion?
Santa, after having so many bites of desserts at the all-night diner, he decided he needed to lose a little weight. He got what they call a little bit portly. So Santa got a job working at the zoo. And because he was a new guy, of course, he got the worst job at the zoo. Now, you see it right there, what's coming up, brushing the teeth. But what would be the worst animal in the zoo to brush the teeth of?
Lion.
Oh, close.
Oh.
Yeah, the Loki gator. Loki gator. I don't spoil it. I've only seen 2 episodes so far. 3 episodes. I haven't seen the part where this comes up, but don't spoil Loki for me. Now, Santa, he was pretty good with these animals, and he would say, "Okay, open up the mouth. We're going to brush your teeth." And the Loki gator would do it, and he'd be like brushing and brushing and brushing and brushing. And then he knew when the alligator was going to be naughty, and he'd just get out of the way before the alligator or the Loki gator could bite him. He knew. He said, "Okay, don't be naughty. Open the mouth. We got to get way in the back," which is very dangerous. But Santa knew right away, as soon as that alligator was going to be naughty, and he said, "Okay, that's enough oral hygiene." Oh my gosh, my legs. He said, "Okay, that's enough oral hygiene for you. You go back in your pen." And then, of course, it was time for lunch. And Santa always visited his favorite animal at the zoo when he went to lunch. Do you know what is Santa's favorite animal at the zoo?
No.
Here's a hint. Yeah, I heard somebody yelling at me. That's good. All right. Yeah, he had his lunch with the deer, the reindeers, and Santa was on a diet. He was eating sensibly. He didn't have portion control down yet, but he was really big, and he was kind of sick of eating the salads all the time. So he gave it to the reindeer, and oh boy, did the reindeer like to eat that. They eat that right up. And then Santa gave him a jumbo. Heard of baby carrots? This was not the baby carrot. This was too big for any person. Yeah, very big. And they give it to the reindeer, and the reindeer, of course, they like that very much. And then, of course, he was on a diet. He's trying to be good, but man can't live on vegetables alone. He had a giant gingerbread cookie, and he gave it to the reindeer. It had only one little bite taken out because Santa had to make sure it was okay. And then the reindeer laid that up. Boy, did the reindeer like that! The reindeer was so excited he ate that right off. But the problem is, do you know what happens if you give the reindeer a celery and a carrot and a gingerbread cookie with one bite out of it?
Constipation.
No. The reindeer had all that fiber from the celery. What are you talking about? Aren't you a pharmacist? Man, Mike is a pharmacist and he's talking about this. Mike, you're not talking out your butt, are you? That's a constipation joke. All right. No, if you give a reindeer celeries and a carrot and gingerbread man cookie with one, they learn how to fly. And the reindeer flew away and they got fired. Oh no. I'm not so sure about a happy ending at this point, but I think it's going to have a happy ending.
Bells, they're tiny and they're small. Bells are also 10 feet tall.
Derp, derpity, derp, derp, butter, butter.
I know, lady who swallowed a.
Oh,
She's dead, of course. No, we don't pull punches. It's just how it is, I tell my kids, you got to understand about these things. And that way they can tell all the good dead baby jokes, which is really, really good. Those were a big thing in the 70s and 80s, kids. I'll post something on my TikTok about that. All right, now, got to educate these kids. Now, how Santa got fired, the 5th incarnation. Cinco de Mayo. And now you see Santa had no choice but to run away and join the circus. Yeah. He got the job as this human cannonball. And then the ringmaster would say, of course, he brought his lovely assistant. The ringmaster would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, bring your attention to the center ring as we have the human cannonball." And then the reindeer would light the fuse. Psst, and then the cannon would go kaboom. And Santa, who was really stuck in there, why didn't I check this beforehand? It's been like 6 months since I've done this. To try it again. That was a misfire. It went, and the cannon went, misfire big time. He's dumped out the back. Kaboom! It usually works better. No, it doesn't. And then Santa flew out away, and then the reindeer flew away. And then all the time, Santa was flying through the circus tent, and he was going, ho, 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 because he really liked it. He thought it was a good job. But the problem was Santa going, ho, 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 as he flew through the air. The ringmaster told him not to say ho, 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 because that's too much fun, and the people wouldn't think it's dangerous enough trick. But Santa couldn't help. He broke the rules and said, ho, 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 until the ringmaster had enough of this, and Santa got fired. Ho, ho, ho. And then, as Santa was packing up from the circus, these crazy little guys came knocking on his door. They wanted his autograph and whatever. And so they noticed that Santa was not like, he was very, very upset. They said, Santa, what's going on? Your act is brilliant. We love it. And Santa said, well, guys, I got fired from so many jobs. I can't be a chimney sweep because people didn't believe about going up and down. And he told all the things they got fired from. And these crazy little guys, did I tell you they were really little, like pointy ears and curly shoes? Yeah, these guys go, Santa, we've got all these toys. We can't stop making it. It's an OCD thing or I don't know what, but we love making toys, but we got nobody to deliver them. You, Santa, you taught reindeer how to fly. You go up and down the chimney. You are the guy we need. Can you deliver all our toys, please? And Santa said, yeah, okay, but what kind of reassurances do I have? Is there a severance package? They said, oh, we'll work all that out later. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Santa got his job. The end.
The odds against Christmas being Christmas are 365 to 1.